Business is FN hard.
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 On today's episode, we revisit the conversation we have with Brian Fisher, the CEO and president of BCF Org Corporation.
You need to look for people that are smarter than you. And that's not easy. It's probably way easier to find people smarter than you than it is to hire people smarter than you because of our own individual egos.
Get ready to get real because business is FN hard.
Various business cycles, external factors, people doing what people do and not always in my best interest. And it was just, I realized that, gosh, I'm a business person and I have met so many on my podcast with these, with the guests that I mentioned. I have met so many accomplished people. My whole world was industrial automation, which is a fairly decent sized world, but I've just met so many knowledgeable, accomplished people. And in my episode coming up on 100 here in a couple of weeks, I mentioned I would have been a better, after doing this for 4 years, I would have been a better CEO. And even though we were profitable, I would have been more profitable. I've learned so much from talking to different people. So I cannot stress enough the importance of networking and staying active and being out there. And I'm a proactive person, kind of like Kinsey was mentioning. I'm very much a list writing person and crossing things off the list. I don't do well when I'm reactive. I like being in charge of my time, basically managing my time. I shouldn't say in charge, but managing my time and being proactive.
Sure. Hiring is always hard, right? Especially right now, and when you're urgent about hiring, you want to find somebody quickly, but then you got to be patient to find the right person in the right seat, as you said.
Oh yeah, that's it's always a challenge. And I think it has been a challenge. It is a challenge and will be a challenge. Just that hiring knowledgeable, qualified people that can do a job. I was very fortunate that I went through various hiring people and then having to let people go. And having to let people go is not fun. It literally keeps you up at night, and it's a terrible thing to have to let somebody go. And so that falls on you as the manager or the owner of the company for not doing a better job on bringing in A players. And towards the last several years of my business, we had A players, and what a difference that makes. And you have to let when you're hiring people, you're hiring them for a specific task or job. And you have to be able to delegate and let go, and nobody's going to do it the way you're going to do it, but you have to be okay with that and let them make their mistakes as long as they get it done. And you need to look for people that are smarter than you. And that's not easy. It's not easy to, it's probably way easier to find people smarter than you than it is to hire people smarter than you because of our own individual egos. So, but with the 8 players that we had in place, oh my gosh, it made such a huge difference. That's when we really took off. We went through a cycle, 01 and 08, 09, when the economy just made an absolute major downturn. And I had to borrow money. We were just treading water. There's no future in this. And we did a SWOT on ourselves. And then turned that SWOT, which is strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. And we did a SWOT on ourselves. And then we asked some of the manufacturers we represented to do the same thing. We already knew who we were. But anyway, just to validate it. And that turned into a 5-year strategic plan. And that made all the difference in the world. And then with the 8 players, you bring them in. You give them the tools to do their job, set direction, and get out of their way. Obviously, you monitor from time to make sure everything's going okay, which we did. But it's amazing what knowledgeable, quality people can accomplish.
Absolutely. Great insight, Brian. Thanks for sharing. We know you've been doing this a long time, and you're on Brian 2.0 right now. But anything that, even if it's not something that's kicking your butt right now, Brian? Anything you can think of in the past that was a struggle that you just want to share with our listeners?
Yeah, I think that a lot of us that start a business, we're technicians. We're good at what we do, and that's why we think we've got a better mousetrap. We can do it better, but we're not business people, and so we struggle with all the business side of things, and that just takes time. All the where you're responsible when you're signing the front of the check, and you're hiring people and just all the different things that you're doing, and cash flow, your relationships with the bank, your CPA, the attorneys, doing your business plan, your financial projection, and just all the things that come into play. For me, I guess right now my major thing is marketing, because I want my podcast to be significantly more clicks than I have. So marketing is probably my challenge. I just haven't been able to find. There's a lot of people that'll say, well, we can get you, 2,000, 5,000 clicks an episode kind of thing. And I'm not just looking for clicks. I'm looking for a marketing plan to put things together, because the number of clicks isn't nearly as important to me as the right number of clicks.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. We all can do better in that space. I saw something recently that talked about, we start off everything we have to do at scale. So what are we going to do that 1 million people are going to like? But if we're doing something with maybe only 100 people like, and we're doing it really, really well, they're going to start to tell their friends, and it's going to spread. And there's going to magically be more than 100 people that like that same thing. And so you got to get really good at what you do first. Yeah. Where I'm on it, Brian, and I struggle with it every day, is trying to keep up with the new ways to network and market and all these things. It used to be, we could send postcards and snail mail, and we could cold call, and email for a long time worked really well. And, now it's SMS, marketing and video marketing, and you've got to have, 1,000 pieces of content. It seems like going out a week, and it's all these new things you got to learn. Right. And, where I'm trying to spend my time is at least knowing what should happen. That way, when I do find and hire the marketing agencies, I can at least hold them accountable, because I've certainly hired and paid a lot of dumb tax to marketing agencies where, you write them a check for $10,000, and then you don't get anything from it, and you don't know why, and so you gotta I'm trying to do a better job of staying informed for sure. Kind of end for the Friday weekend, talk about what we're going to do that's going to be awesome this weekend, and one very simple takeaway that maybe we've taken from this conversation that we're going to use going forward. What are you going to do that's going to be amazing this weekend? And what's one little thing that you've taken away from our conversation? Brian, what about you, sir? And again, we're so glad you joined us, and we're going to check out your podcast when this is over. But
all righty. Well, thanks, Kevin. Yeah, for me, I belong to a group called Hollow to Moon, and Sunday nights, full moon, we take the pontoon boats out, tie up in a cove, hop in the lake, float around with our beverage of choice for an hour plus, and then everybody brings a shareable snack, and we get up out of the water, and we just walk between the boats and talk and have different snacks. I think for me the main takeaway. I also do business mentoring with SCORE, which is a subset of the SBA, and one of the main things we didn't really touch on is having a business plan and financial projection. Extremely, extremely important to put a business plan together. And it doesn't have to be complex. It can just be a single page. It doesn't have to be a 40-pager. And just a financial projection, just so that you have an idea of where you're headed and when the money's coming in and when the money's going out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks for sharing, Brian. For me, guys, I get to spend tomorrow with my wife. We're doing the second part of our kind of vision planning. I'm a EOS guy, so we call it vision and traction organizing, but we're going to do our family one again tomorrow. So I'm excited about that. It's been a couple years since we've done it, since the kids left the house. So a lot of introspective and conversations with my wife about where we're going as a family in the future. To Brian's point, kind of the family business plan, right? So I'm excited about that. And yeah, the biggest takeaway, I think, I'm gonna steal it from Brian, but and being in a similar spot as probably you were a few years ago, I'm kind of working on Calvin 2.0 now. We just moved back to Arkansas recently. We sold some businesses. And so figuring out what I'm going to be doing as we go forward is kind of where I'm at. So that was a good takeaway. But man, this has been an awesome 20-30 minute conversation. Went by super fast. Like I was looking at the clock. I was like, man, this thing is flying by. Right. And so absolutely. But what a great way to end the Friday, guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey there, Calvin Smith here, professional EOS implementer and entrepreneur just like you. For the last 15 years, I've built businesses from the ground up, some that have soared and some that nearly broke me. I felt the chaos, worn the hats, and hit the ceilings more times than I can count. And then I found EOS. The Entrepreneur Operating System is not theory. It's a simple, practical framework that gave me clarity, control, and traction in my own companies. It completely changes the way I lead and live. So now I'm super excited. I get to help business owners and leadership teams like you implement EOS so you can break through, get alignment, and actually enjoy running your businesses again. So if you're feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or just want to build something stronger and more fulfilling, EOS is exactly what you've been looking for. I'm excited to talk to you. Let's go.